First speaker is Diekilman. She has written a statement of confusion. She's the co-author of my book, a dear friend, Diekilman. Please come in. Ladies first, all the time.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I am a concerned American citizen. I want to say it's been a privilege working with other concerned American citizens in the last 2 months. We all love America, and we're concerned. My own background goes back to my forefathers who came over with the Mayflower to stay in the colonies, to settle the colonies, and be able to practice freedom of religion. There seems to be a great deal of confusion in our country right now about our Constitution, Islam, Sharia law, and tonight perhaps we will give some of you a few answers about where we are coming from as Americans that think our country is the very best, and we want to see it succeed and our freedoms be preserved. I'm going to read just a few paragraphs tonight before Mano introduces you to our speakers. I'm going to start with a word. The word is bigotry. Please bear with me. Bigotry is the word that is being used against those of us who oppose the Islamic invasion that is spreading across America. Unfortunately, it appears that our country's news media, by screaming intolerance, enjoys adding to the Islamic frenzy in order to fan the flames, creating more notoriety for themselves. How tragic it is for those of us who support our country's true religious freedom that goes back to our founding roots. We are being falsely labeled. Our concerns and our fears center around being asked to accept a totalitarian ideology that has given us example after example of terror and misdeed. To forgive is part of our country's Christian creed. But first, let's have proof that we are all on the same playing field. It must be the ongoing commitment of the peaceful or so-called moderate Muslim to clean house within their mosques and community centers and expose those who are destructive. Otherwise, it becomes questionable about the truthfulness of wanting to eliminate the shame of harboring the jihadist. Our demands should not be difficult to achieve for the Muslims who want to end the confusion. It is our opinion that all mosques must eliminate financial support from countries that live by Muhammad's words, dating back 1400 years: conquer, convert, or kill. Those countries in question bring pressure from visiting imams who demand loyalty to their extremist ideas in exchanging for supplying monetary backing. Praying to Allah should be the only focus. Let's talk about Article 6 of the United States Constitution that states that the Constitution, our Constitution, is the highest law in the land and could not be subjected to any other legal code. What most Americans do not know is that the fundamental claim of Sharia is that Sharia laws are the highest laws in the world, and that all other legal codes must submit to Islamic law. That is happening right now in the United States of America. There is a massive contradiction, and it is being ignored, as Americans are allowing themselves to be implemented under the guise of freedom of religion. The religion of Islam is demanding that we in the United States make political accommodations for their Sharia law, the goal being submission. Because Islam is a political ideology as well as a religion, it is time that the two are separated. The Islamic political doctrine, Sharia law, is being legitimatized under the cover of religion. Therefore, currently, the First Amendment is being used to destroy Article 6. Freedom of speech is being denied when those of us who criticize Islamic Sharia law are being called bigots. Western civilization cannot survive under Sharia law because all freedom of thought is considered a sin. One must bow to Allah's words and Allah's words only. History explains the beginning of Islam's political system. It starts with Muhammad. Muhammad peacefully preached the religion of Islam for 13 years in Mecca. But because Meccans had their own religions, he only recruited about 100 Arabs to Islam. The people of Mecca did not believe that Muhammad was the messenger of Allah and the last prophet. He was humiliated, angered, and forced out of Mecca. It was called Hijrah. He then went to Medina and became a politician and a warlord. After 2 years, he returned to Mecca and ambushed and killed every Jew. For the next 9 years of his life, he raided and killed every enemy in order to expand Islam by forceful submission. This was no longer a religion that converted through love and understanding. This became a political process involving jihad. Jihad is known and accepted by many as the sixth pillar of Islam and is a political action used to gain political domination. Sharia law is the political implementation of the Islamic doctrine. Down through the ages, Islam's caliphs continued to write Sharia laws according to the community's political agenda at that particular time. Because of the caliph's superior and revered standing as heads of both religion and state, their words or Sharia laws, although often barbaric, covered every aspect of life and were accepted and honored as the word of Allah. It is important to know the difference between religion and politics. Remember, Sharia laws are Islam's political laws that have governed through many generations and do not comply with our constitutional laws. Muslims who practice Sharia law make demands within our government, private institution, schools for special allowances that have nothing to do with the religious side of Islam. They are masquerading as religion. Tonight, you were given a copy of a pledge of friendship with a list of Sharia laws that must be eliminated in order to ease our fears. This pledge was written by two men, Dr. Tawfiq Hamid, former terrorist, now author and senior fellow and chair of study of Islamic radicalism at the Potomac Institute for Policy Studies, along with former Iranian Admiral Mano Bakh, an organizer of Concerned American Citizens. Both men have seen the evil of Islam. Both men now apostates, and both men American citizens. This pledge must be signed and publicized in the media with a written guarantee from the imams of local mosques as well as the Temecula Mosque. Muslims are most certainly entitled to pray to their Allah